What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pleeka. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're going to be reviewing Solo, a Star Wars story. So first up, we'll be doing a spoiler-free review. I'll have it time-coded in the description if you want to skip the spoilers or, when we get out to the actual spoiler version of the review. So spoiler-free, what were your thoughts of Solo, a Star Wars story?
I really liked it. It was entertaining. My expectations were low because everyone's saying.
Yeah, my expectations were very low, especially they fired the directors. They reshot like 60% of the movie. There's rumors that he wasn't a very good Han Solo, all this shit.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was pretty good, too. I thought he was a fine Han Solo.
Thought he was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I thought Donald Glover did a great job at being Lando.
Donald Glover was awesome.
Chewbacca was awesome. I did kind of like Chewbacca seemed smaller, which I kind of liked because like he was younger.
I didn't notice that.
So like he seemed like skinnier to me.
Maybe a
little bit.
Yeah. Well, plus when you first see him, it's like
it's
muddy and stuff. So.
Yeah. But I thought it was pretty good. There were some boring parts in the movie, but every movie has those moments.
It's hard to make a movie where the future's already.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like tee-ups to things you've heard before, seen before like that. But I thought it was pretty. I liked seeing like early him like driving around in speeders and shit.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I thought it was a fun movie.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it more than The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I definitely did too. I hated The Last Jedi.
Now, I did have high expectations for The Last Jedi.
That's true. We had low for this, so I feel like maybe even seeing The Last Jedi again, maybe we'd like it more. But I really don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, me either.
I was worried going into this that this is going to be another Star Wars movie that I don't like.
Yeah, this was. I think it was better than episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah, it's not. I think for me it goes like the originals and then this and then like. Some of the newer shit, like this is probably in my top for the newer stuff that they've done. Like I think this is more rewatchable to me than Rogue One is.
Yeah, maybe. Rogue One. I think Rogue. I looking back, they're close.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good side story. Like it's not. There's not.
They actually brought up a lot, like showing you different things that we haven't seen in Star Wars before. Like there's like a heist scene and. I really did actually like Woody Harrelson in the movie too.
Yeah.
I liked Sandy Newton in it. I liked Emilia Clarke. I keep forgetting the character. I know Woody Harrelson played Tobias, but he's like the only name that I could remember of their crew.
Yeah, I don't remember. The Lando's droid was real good too.
Oh yeah, I liked
really
her too. A very unique version of a droid too as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really all we could say. Not really. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's well worth it. I mean, it's
if you like Han Solo the character and you like Star Wars, there's really no reason not to enjoy the movie.
Right.
It may not be your favorite, but I think it's enjoyable.
It's good. It's decent. I mean, it's worth it. You know?
It does. It makes me interested now because I haven't really cared about these spin-off movies they've been doing and all that shit. Like the only one I really want is the Kenobi movie, and that's just so we can see Hugh McGregor as Obi-Wan again.
Right.
But now this has me interested in them. Like, actually what they're going to do with them. Because I thought this was a pretty good job. Like, I would actually like to see these actors play the characters again.
Yeah, well, especially Lando.
Yeah, I hope they do that Lando spinoff. That'd be pretty cool. But all right, so now we're going to get into spoilers. Where would you like to start with spoilers?
Let's start with Darth Maul.
Darth Maul is back. He made a return in the movie, which I think is pretty cool. Because they brought him back in the cartoons a bunch, and he even has his own comic series and all this stuff.
Which I don't know anything about that, except what you've told me.
To me, I always find the comics and the cartoons very hard to watch and read, and follow, because almost nothing gets brought up in the movies from them.
Right.
So it's like oh, I'm reading this, but then does it really matter? And I feel like it's a waste of time if it doesn't matter. So it's hard for me to do that. But the fact that they brought him in it now makes me feel like, oh, maybe they actually are going to start mixing these pretty well.
Now, did you notice when they showed his legs, they were
they're robotic?
Yeah,
because he has robot legs now.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do bring him back in Han Solo 2, or if maybe this is a setup for another movie where he's the bad guy, whatever. If we'll get a flashback and because I believe it's his brother that brought him to his mom, and she fixed him up. Which his brother I think is like a yellowy greenish Darth Maul looking guy instead of he's red and black. But I think that'd be interesting because then he's the only person I believe of that species that we've seen in this universe.
If they're gonna use him at all again, they're gonna have to show people how he's
Yeah,
there.
because the everyday
Yeah.
person isn't gonna know that, and it'd be interesting to me too. Because like on the one hand, it's cool that they're tying this stuff in, but then if they are gonna leave it connected to the cartoons and stuff, if he's in another movie and he's the bad, like he can't be the main bad guy because he can't lose.
Right.
Because if they defeat him, then it retcons anything that happened in the cartoons.
Right.
So that's why I think there's kind of there's a weird spot in there for it. But I think that's cool. I'm happy they brought him back. I was very surprised in the theater.
He doesn't necessarily have to be the big bad guy. He could be.
Yeah, just be like another
Or-
character there.
Or what they do in Star Wars all the time. He's the big bad guy, but they're fighting.
There's
the
a bigger
smaller-
one.
Oh, yeah. Or there's a smaller one.
Yeah,
they defeat.
either way, kind of
Yeah.
like I mean that's how this movie was.
Sort of, yeah.
How'd you think of the villain in this movie?
But he was.
Paul Bettany,
Yeah.
aka Vision, aka whatever his name was in this. I can't
He
remember.
wasn't in it a whole lot, but when he was in it, he seemed like an evil bastard.
Yeah, I actually really would like to see the scenes that they filmed of that with Omar Little as it, because I almost can't picture him being that character.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the reason they switched is because he couldn't come back for reshoots because of scheduling stuff.
Oh.
But I think that'd be interesting. But I actually did like him. I thought he was pretty cool. I liked how every time he got pissed off, the little scratches on his face got like darker.
I want him to show how he got all the scratches.
Yeah, I was wondering like what was gonna happen if he got fully pissed off? Was his face just gonna turn black, or like what was gonna happen
Right.
with that? But I thought he was pretty cool. They kind of Deadpooled us / Suicide Squaded us in a little bit with Woody Harrelson's crew, because they're all over the trailers, and then
Yeah.
they die the first mission. Which I kind of like that, because I
Well-
totally expect, like, once they hung out, I was like, oh, wow, so they're going to be together like this, and, like, they got together pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then the one dude gets shot, the monkey-looking dude, and then,
Which he was fun. I liked him.
yeah, and then Thandie Newton blows herself up, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, that
know what I was
really
thinking?
surprised me.
I
What?
wish she'd do that in Westworld.
I mean, she has that C4 spine. But I thought their characters were pretty neat. Like, it was cool seeing them add more
Yeah,
characters.
that's the problem though. If you when you create this thing that happened,
Yeah,
20
you add
years
more
before-
characters. You're
you
like,
have-
oh, that person didn't interact
Yeah,
with Luke.
well, and yeah, so Han and Chewie have to make it. So fucking
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Is like going through because he's dating Emilia Clarke in this. And I was like, oh, that's
Like, sorta.
That's kind of cool because like they brought up in the comics that he's like had other love interests and shit in the
Yeah.
past. But I was like, she has to like double cross him or something in the end to make them not together anymore.
right.
So then I wasn't fully surprised in the end when she like called Darth Maul and like was turning on him again, like on all that shit at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too is because you don't know the ending, but you kind of know.
you can kind of figure it out a little bit only
Yeah.
because we've seen the other movies, which is
Well, that's why.
is one bad part about the movie, but at the same time, like, it's also just a movie.
like
just,
that
like,
first
watch it.
card game where Lando cheats and beats him.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah,
How's he
y-
gonna, you know?
Yeah, that's
but
I,
then it worked
I
out.
did really like that. The last
But
scene
that was
he
good.
stole his card and Lando's like clicking the thing, like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, you would have won if you had this.
And I liked it when Lando just left their ass.
oh, that was really funny. Yeah. He's like, down there is a group of men, and the ship just flies off.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel about us seeing Han Solo and Chewbacca, like how they met?
I
You
liked
think
it.
that was cool?
Yeah.
I liked it. At first, I was like, "Oh, they're totally just giving us a nod to Return of the Jedi when Luke went down in the Jabba's
Yeah,
pit and all
So-
that."
yeah, exactly.
Because they even pan over to instead of a body, it's a droid there and all that, and then it's Chewbacca, and I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty funny."
Yeah, they go feed him to the beast, and they throw him down there, and I'm like, oh, this is just like Return of the Jedi. And
yeah,
Then, like,
I thought he was.
then I'm like, oh, I wonder if Chewie's the beast. And, like, it took me a second to figure it out, and then all of a sudden they show his feet. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
that was really cool, especially the fight scene, and then Han Solo can speak.
That was weird.
I almost said Jabba.
I'm glad he.
Wookiee.
I'm glad he doesn't do that a lot.
That was pretty weird, but I kind of liked
Yeah.
it. I actually was expecting him to speak it more after that, and they didn't. He didn't do it.
I was hoping
Like he was
wouldn't.
just understanding him.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I get why they threw that in there because in all the movies he just understands him. So it's like, oh, he can speak it. So there you go.
Yeah. See, and I even like I can speak a little bit of it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What
Didn't he call him a stupid Wookiee?
I'm not sure.
I think he goes, yeah, I speak it, you stupid Wookiee, or something like that.
So what were your thoughts on like the overall story of like it was basically for him to get the girl, but then they added that weird little explosion stuff for them to get. What'd you think about that?
I mean, I liked it. I liked how, I don't know, because you have to come up with something. And he's
Yeah.
a smuggler, and that's how he gets it. So basically, it's how he becomes a smuggler.
Basically, yeah.
To how he gets to Jabba.
I did like too when Woody Harrelson's like, "Do you know what it's like to have people coming after your whole life or whatever, something like
Oh,
that?"
yeah.
Like basically being a smuggler and being the bad guy. and we know from later on that that's totally who he is. Like Jabba's after him in the other movies.
Yeah, where he was going at the end.
I really expected a Jabba the Hutt cameo,
I kind of did too, but I
Like-
didn't realize it was.
or like a name mention or something.
I didn't realize that they just went. I mean, I didn't know the timeline, but I mean, they stopped right before he would even get to Jabba, which I assume Jabba is at least 10, 15 years before he sees Luke.
Yeah, I would assume so. It'll be interesting.
Which
Like,
makes you wonder how old he was in Star Wars. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or
I'm
New
sure
Hope.
it's out. I'm sure the timeline's out there. Like, I bet he's like
Yeah.
real young in this. He just the actor looks older or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
But like, when we were first watching it in theaters, I was thinking like the main bad guy was gonna end up being, or someone connected. Like he had a higher boss.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be Jabba. Like that'll be the reveal at the end, and that's why he owes Jabba a debt this whole time. So then it ended up being Darth Maul. But I thought that'd be a good place to put Jabba, and then that would kind of connect it to the other stuff and
Yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
So do you think he
I think
goes?
Jabba's more local. Like,
I
sorta.
guess, yeah. So do you
Yeah.
think like because in the end of this movie they're going to Tatooine because of Woody Harrelson mentioned the big mobster there,
Yeah.
or gangster he called him. Do you think that's going to be Jabba, and then
Yeah.
in the sequel will be all about that?
I mean, if they're doing a sequel, yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
know he signed on, I believe, to do 3 movies. But he doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily like they could do Lando and that could be one of the movies, you know.
Right.
So it'll be interesting where they do that. Like it'd be cool if they kind of tied it in. It wouldn't really make sense, but I bet they could figure out a way because they've announced they're doing Boba Fett and they're doing Kenobi and all that.
Yeah.
If he has had like a piece in those movies,
Well, I mean, I don't know about Kenobi, but you think Boba Fett would have something to do with Jabba?
yeah.
Because he was supposed to be in the original New Hope, but he wasn't. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
And I know in the in the comics too, like Boba Fett is kind of Darth Vader's personal bounty hunter.
Mhm.
And like he sends him like after Luke, right after A New Hope and stuff like that. So it'd be kind of because they could connect, they could add and bring in back in so many people with the
Yeah.
Boba Fett movie, and plus it's being made by the guy that made Logan. So I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
But so what else did you like about Solo?
I liked it when Woody Harrelson was wearing that.
Oh,
the outfit-
Lando's mask from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was a
I
cool
didn't
little
expect
nod
that.
too. I didn't either. Yeah,
That was cool.
I actually expected Lando to be in this more. I was surprised how little he was in the movie, for how much in like the promotions they used him
Yeah,
in.
I mean, I get why they used him though, because he was like in every scene. Like even when he talks, he just sounds just like
Yeah,
him, you
yeah.
know? What else did I like? Just the little stuff. Like even when I don't know the actor's name, but when Han Solo shot his gun, he even like crouched and like ducked as he's getting hit
yeah.
like him. It just reminded me of it more when he would like lean in the Millennium Falcon and stick his like thumb in his
Mhm.
belt and stuff like all that, which I'm sure he watched, Star Wars a million times.
Yeah, and that reminds me. Donald Glover was on Jimmy Kimmel and he talked about how when he found out he got the role in Star Wars because he went to his agent and was like, they're making a Han Solo movie. Lando's got to be in it. I want to
Yeah.
be Lando. And he's like, I don't like your odds, but we'll figure it out. And then he ended up getting the part. And he's like, so what'd you do with that? He's like, I got a pizza and went home and watched Star Wars.
Really?
Or I guess, Empire.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's research. And I was like, that's pretty cool that he just like, he said he was so excited to do this movie because Lando was the first toy his dad gave him when he was a kid. And like his dad is in love with Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
So like I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that like he like really wanted the role. And you can tell because he did a great job.
Yeah, he's very. He just brings every. It's just like in Homecoming when he's in that.
He's in like 2 scenes and
he
he's
like
like
steals them.
Yeah, totally. Like I after this, I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get a spin-off movie. At the end, when everybody just kept double crossing each other, it was like a 14 quadruple cross. How'd you feel about that?
It was okay because Han still had the upper hand.
Yeah, I actually really liked that because when he got the stuff, I was like, that looks exactly like it. Like when we get a movie, I go, well, it would make sense if he really brought it to the guy. And then the guy's like, wow, how'd you do this? Like,
I actually thought it was gonna be Lando that double crossed him, not Woody.
I was wondering that. I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. Tie it back in. But then I was
Yeah.
like, but I mean, like if he double crossed him there, why would he trust him again later on? So I was thinking that wouldn't really fully
Well, I figured
Makes sense.
he had to like save.
he'd just
him,
forget him or
yeah.
forgive him or something. But I like that when Woody Harrelson walks in, and then he's like, yeah, but you told me not to trust anybody, and like showed because he was almost portrayed as almost the dumb character for some of the movie.
Oh
like,
yeah.
like the cocky dumb guy.
Yeah.
And then right there, it was like he totally was Han Solo there, cocky and dumb, but not really. Like most
it's
of the time
more-
he's the smartest guy in the room. He's just portraying himself that way.
Yeah, he's cocky, but he's not dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I really that might be my favorite scene in the movie was that reveal, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that is real," and all this shit. And then like they open the box down below, and the box is empty and all that. I really like
there
that.
was a couple times that like I laughed like when he took the Millennium Falcon and like put it on its side and went through that hole.
Oh yeah.
He's like, remember how we did this before? And he's like, yeah, you didn't make it. He goes, oh, I will this time. And it's just like no one else believes that but him.
Yeah,
you know
totally. How'd you think about the what'd you think about the Kessel Run?
I mean, I guess I like. You know what my favorite part was?
What?
Is that when he bragged to some person, he's like, "Yeah, I did it in 12 seconds."
Oh yeah, and she was like, "Oh," he's like, "Well, if you round down."
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like so it was like 12 or not seconds. I always say seconds.
Oh, it's parsecs. Yeah.
He goes, if you round down, and it's just like it's so funny that like they were like, "Oh yeah, he's been full shit this whole time."
It reminded me too of in the Force Awakens when he's arguing with Rey, and she's like, "Oh, this is the ship that made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs." He's like, 12.
Yeah.
And then as he's walking back in the ship, he goes, 14. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
So that's what it totally like. I like how they had all these jokes from all the other movies too thrown in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I actually thought like when we went to that mining place and they landed. At first, it looked like they're going down deep into the thing, but they didn't go that deep. At first, when they started going down deep, I'm like, is this where General Grievous was? Like,
oh yeah, it did look very similar to that.
But I didn't know they were even thinking about a sequel.
Yeah, they announced that like a couple weeks ago.
I mean, I liked it, so I would go see a sequel.
Yeah, I would too.
You know,
I'm wondering what they're gonna call it. Like, will it be Han
Solo 2?
Solo 2, a Star Wars story? I don't like how they add Star Wars story at the end of every single fucking one.
But it is a Star Wars story.
Yeah, but they don't do like, let's go see Captain America, a Marvel story. You know what I mean?
No, but they have Marvel all around.
That's just have the logo on there. Like I feel like it's really dumb still doing it.
That's not all that is a logo. It's just they just say it. You know what I mean? Like
well, it is part of the title. If you look up the movie, it's Solo, a Star Wars story.
I know, but that's because they don't want to just call Solo.
Yeah, but like so, like I feel like the way they have the Star Wars story on there, though, it makes it so if they want to do any sequels, like they have to keep it really short, otherwise it'll be the longest title in history.
Yeah, but no one's calling it Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, they do.
But no one says that.
Everybody says that. What do you mean?
Anybody
I hear talk about that movie, they call it Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Well, you mentioned it in the beginning of this goddamn video, and you just called it Rogue One. You did not say Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying now. It's because I'm against it. All right, that's it for our Han Solo video. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on Han Solo, and we'll see you guys next time.
190 years old? You look great.